Welcome back from that break. Glad you're still watching Science Breakfast with me, Alan HERBERT, and Sign Language interpreter is Jedida Wafula. And these are the stories that are making headlines in the country. And we started off with police allowed to detain Embakasi explosion suspects for 21 more days. And Embakasi gas plant owner Derek Kimathi and two other suspects, Joseph Macau and Marian Kyoko, will be remanded for 21 more days pending completion of investigations. And away from that story, now to other stories that are making headlines in the country. Court temporarily stops payment of school fees via eCitizen. Now, the government has once again been dealt a blow by the judiciary after the High Court temporarily stopped the directive requiring parents to pay school fees for students in government learning institutions through the eCitizen platform, even as the president went on to defend the move. Watch.
As we digitize government services, as is expected, there is a lot of resistance. Initially, we had something like, I think, 3,000 pay bills, Now we have reduced the 3,000 pay bills to one, so that we can have sight of government revenue. You may have heard the latest about school fees in Kenya, or money that is paid by parents. And some of the monies paid by parents, for example, in boarding schools, because we provide resources for learning in all our primary schools and secondary schools. What parents pay is boarding fees and maybe lunch. We are insisting because we realize that there are illegal levies charged by boards of management of schools that go into accounts that nobody knows. We expect to tap into expertise like what the Prime Cabinet Secretary was saying here, of Kenyans living abroad who are experts and professionals in that space, for them to work with us to see how we can secure our data. Geoffrey, you're listening? Yeah, how we can secure our data and how we can work together to make sure that services provided by the government of Kenya are seamless and uninterrupted.
Away from that, now to government illegally withdrew Kenyan shillings 147 billion from consolidated fund. An auditor general's report on supplementary budget expenditure has revealed how the government spent 147 billion shillings without the National Assembly approval. The report by Auditor General Nancy Gathungu shows that a total of 595 billion shillings was irregularly withdrawn from the exchequer over the last 9 years, a practice the auditor says diminishes trust and confidence in government and increases the risk of corruption and wastage of public resources. Here are the full report and details of the story.
What is appalling is that in the last year of the elections, 147 billion Kenya shillings was spent without the authority of Parliament. So we have a situation where Parliament has been unable to approve some money spent, and we now find ourselves in a lacuna that is occasioned by the Constitution, by the silence of the Constitution about the 223. And we would want, because I cry for this country, that if that was to continue and to be allowed to continue, then we would have our country going to the dogs completely.
And away from that, to electricity prices are set to drop effectively. It's a relief for power consumers as electricity prices are set to come down effective mid The new prices by Ministry of Energy shows that the cost of electricity for all categories of power consumers will drop by 3 shillings and 44 cents per unit. Here are the full details of this story. And that's your news. We're gonna